This is Dale Maharidge. This is a story about how this brick almost got us killed by the mob. As crazy as that sounds, I'm going to tell you that story. We'd been in Youngstown for just a couple of days. We were driving down the street in the town of Campbell, Ohio, and we saw this row of buildings right across from the dead sheet and tube works. Michael saw this infrastructure, these timbers that were all burned on top of this building. And he stopped and he looked at it and he said, that'd be a great shot from up there. So we get out of the car, we clamber up there, and Michael takes this shot. Now, it wasn't really that great of a shot. The bill's not very pronounced, but hey, we give it a try. So there's this curious thing. There was a cop car. Now, we didn't notice this at the time. It wasn't until years later, when I looked at the contact sheets when I'm making these shows, that I noticed it. But I realized that this cop was very significant. He was probably driving by to check us out. We came down from the snowy rooftop. There was a man standing there. He said, hey, what you guys doing up there? So we said, we're doing a book. There's this great picture. There's the burned beams. We're taking a picture of the mill. And he said, okay. What I didn't tell you was that we saw these really cool bricks that had Bessemer Youngstown block on them. We ended up talking about those bricks for about a week. I said to Michael, man, wouldn't they make great bookends? These are really stout bricks. They don't make bricks like that anymore. Let's go back and ask that man if we could take some. We went back. I first dropped Michael off.
Well, I tried to do the typical thing of give the rubble some scale. I mean, it was just so sad that what had been this proud little sort of, little one-row main street, and it just was falling into the street. I mean, they didn't even bother cleaning it up.
So I drove Das Boot down the street. I didn't see Michael shooting this very strange man walking towards him.
But this chap walking by wasn't just walking. He was kind of giving us the eye and looking and wondering what we were doing.
We go up to a door on the left of the burned infrastructure. It's a decrepit old door. I knock. It creaks open. And it's the same guy from the previous week. So I said, we were here about a week ago. And he said, yeah, I remember you. I said, this is going to sound crazy, but there's these really cool bricks up there. Mind if we took a few? And he said, sure. So we go up on the top of the roof. Michael takes this picture, with the snow gone. We take 2 bricks each, we go back down. Now that first guy's gone, there's a different man standing there. And he says in this really funny voice, hey, where are you guys from? We said, we're from California, we're doing a book project. He had this doubting look. So we get in our car, and as we drove away, a cop car materialized behind us, code 3, lights and siren. I said, he's after us, and Michael said, we didn't do anything. So I pull over, the cops come out, guns drawn, order us spread-eagled against Das Boot. They pat us down, and they said, what the fuck you doing back there? And I said, we're getting some bricks. And the cop said, yeah, bricks. Show us the fucking bricks. So I went to the trunk, and I opened it, and there were 4 bricks. And the cop said, bricks. Now that's when I noticed the guy with the funny voice pulled up behind the cop car, and he was watching. It's clear he sent the cops after us to work us over, and he wanted to see who we were, what was going on. We had no idea what was going on. So I explained to the cops what we were doing. We're journalists. We're doing this book project. So the one cop said, if this checks out, okay, but if not, you guys are in trouble. The cops made a U-turn. The man with the funny voice made a U-turn. We went straight down the road and went across the river on a different bridge. When we got back to Professor John Russo's house where we were staying, the phone was ringing as we walked in the door. It was a source of ours who'd heard what happened. He said, what were you doing? I said, we're taking a picture. He says, you know who that was? I said, no. That was Joey Naples. He's a mobster from Pittsburgh. He's laying low. The feds want to bust him. No one's seen him in months. You really rattled them. You know what's under that building? A big casino where they sell all kinds of hot stuff. They thought you were Cleveland mobsters coming to whack them. There'd been a mob war going on. In the previous year, 7 mobsters from Cleveland had been shot or blown up in their cars. In 2009, we went back to Campbell, Ohio. You can see the same building on the far right where Michael is shooting. Above him, I inserted the photo from back in 1983, so you can see the before and after. Postscript to this story. Joey Naples was slain in 1991 by a sniper who was hiding in a cornfield across from his brand new mansion. It was a mob hit. The Campbell cops have been busted by the FBI, corruption charges. So I went into the trees and I found some more of the bricks. I felt okay taking the bricks this time. Here's an interesting thing. When I was putting the show together, I pulled up a picture of Joey Naples. I said, that kind of looks familiar. The nose crooks left just like in Michael's photograph. I realize now that was Joey Naples in Michael's photograph that ran in our first book, Journey to Nowhere. I'm 100% sure. The man with the hat vanished. the man who came out of the building, who had the funny voice, was wearing a tie but no hat. What I think happened was he went inside the building, took off the hat, and came out when we came down. We didn't notice. We weren't paying attention. So when we came down, he said, "Hey, where are you guys from?" It was just moments after Michael had taken the picture of the strange guy. It all ties together. The nose, the timing. That's Joey Naples, who's in our book. What I suspect happened was, because he was being sought to be served a subpoena on a weapons charge, he pulled around the corner with his car and parked in either someone's garage or behind someone's house up the hill in Camel. That way, if the feds came by, they wouldn't see his car in front of the casino operation. They wouldn't think he was around. So that's the story of the bricks that almost got us killed.